village of Tarutina. This is the village where my ancestors came from. Over 100 years ago, there were German settlers that lived in this area called Bessarabia in southern Ukraine. We are in the village of Sarata right now. This is one of the German towns where there's a lot of Germans. And behind me is one of the only existing examples of a Lutheran church building that's still in existence today, and it's still a church today. Although it's not a Lutheran church, it's a Baptist church now. I think that the Germans left us with a very good lesson about our faith. The thing is that they lived here for over 100 years, they worked here, and they worshiped here. But when they left, their faith also vanished from these areas. And what does that tell me? One of the sad things about it is that, unfortunately, it seems that their faith was primarily connected with their language and with their culture. It was just part of their culture, but it didn't go beyond that. And as I think about my own faith, I wonder how much of it is just part of who I was growing up and my language, my culture. And that's not a good thing for me, and that's not a good thing for the church, because our faith needs to go beyond the bounds of our language and our culture. And if we don't do that, then what will happen? If we move, if we leave, our faith will also vanish. So what can we actually do so that our faith won't vanish? We can really, the only thing that we need to be doing is what Jesus told us to do, which is to go and make disciples of all nations. And the sad thing that we see here is that, yeah, they worshiped God and they had a large church, a large gathering, but they didn't go and make disciples. They didn't go to the other nations. So despite the fact that they lived among people who were of a different culture, they never mixed with them. They never sought to try and evangelize them, to bring the gospel to them. It was just enough that it was for them themselves. And the sad thing is that when these Germans moved to the United States, as many of them did, within about 2 generations, they also lost their faith in the United States. They couldn't continue on. And so it tells us of the great need for us to have our faith be not something that is just limited to our own comfort zone, but something that pushes us out of the comfort zone of our culture, of our language, and says we need to share this with all those around us, not just with people that are like us and that make us feel comfortable. This building here, this Lutheran Kirche, is a good reminder to us that we need to be doing the work of evangelism and going out of our zone of comfort to reach people that are unlike us, because if we don't, then sooner or later our church buildings will be like this Kirche here. Instead of being full of people who are worshiping God, they will be empty.